The last episode was rather eventful for the Chicago Blackhawks. A big move at the draft resulted in us getting the number 1 overall pick and putting that to use, drafting one Gabriel Metropolit of the Tri-City Americans. Very excited to see what he will ultimately be able to do. Franchise level players, we don't end up with them too often, and I really am happy with this. I don't really see how I couldn't be. But there was the question of what do we look to do with certain free agents options, because while we do have cap space, is it the best move to make certain moves right now? And mainly that comes down to the goaltenders. In terms of the prospect, we're certainly going to sign him. And you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. Yeah, Edmonds, we're going for him. I mean, we would be dumb to not try and sign Doug Edmonds. I have no idea why he's a free agent, but hopefully he signs. The AI is absurd for not trying to sign him. But from there, we're looking at Ilya Samsonov, and that is the question. Do we trust Blackwood and Korpisalo, who were so good, or do we spend that extra bit of money on Samsonov, who has racked up awards as of late? He has been arguably the best goaltender in this series thus far. Of course, again, the issue is 7 years, $8 million is the asking price, and that is quite steep. Now, admittedly, he's not the only option that we could spend money on. And you look at, some defensive options. I mean, there are some guys that I think they're going to be a little bit too expensive. Even someone like Devon Toews. I mean, I can pick up pretty much anybody. Like Nikita Zaitsev's cheap as hell, but it's like just no, thank you. When it comes to the prospects, of course, we pretty much know that there is nobody out there, which is unfortunate. For the forwards, in terms of prospects, it's not looking all that great, unfortunately. But the interesting one is Shane Bowers, who is looking for absolutely nothing in terms of that deal. Because flat out, the big money players, it's just not going to happen. I mean, you do have some players here that are looking for some interesting deals, but the morale system, it's on. So Richie being an 85, he's probably actually like an 82 or an 83. So in theory, it's a good price. Like for Adam Henrique, in theory, it's a good price. But the thing about our team right now is we are pretty much good to go. And I mean, Bowers, if we could sign him, I suppose the question is, who is his team? It is still Colorado. But I think that's kind of the issue with this team right now, is it's like we are so well set up. Obviously, defending Stanley Cup champions. It's not really all that surprising that we are set up as well as we are. It's just the question of, do I trust the goaltending? And I don't know if I do. That's a lie. I trust them. It's just very tough to turn down a 91 overall. But Dylan's going to need a new contract soon, unfortunately. DeBrincat, Kane, Strome, Nylander, Taves. We have some contracts coming up that could get expensive, and is an $8 million goalie in the cards? I don't know. I mean, Mackenzie Blackwood was good enough. That's the issue, right? It's like, okay, do we need that good of a goaltender, or is Mackenzie Blackwood good enough? Like, how much better is Korpisalo going to be? Obviously, the overall difference is there, but for double the price, is he going to be that much better than what Mackenzie Blackwood was able to do in the postseason? Regular season, but in the playoffs, he was lights out. Hence why we gave him the contract. Oh, boy. Can you tell I'm stalling a little bit because I'm really trying to make this decision. I just don't know what I want to do. It really is the issue. How many defensemen do we have signed? 6, and then 1, 2, 3. So we're going to sign at least 5 defensemen. Yeah, at least 5 defensemen, I would say. And then for the forwards, we'll figure it out from there. Because we obviously know we're going to sign our franchise level player as well. We might as well sign him ASAP. I think I'm going to pass on signing Ilya Samsonov. I mean, the comment section of the last episode, you guys, I love your opinions. I appreciate your opinions, whether or not you agree or disagree with certain moves that are made. It was split between stick with who got you here, go for Samsonov, go for both goaltenders. I mean, obviously we've made the move for at least Edmonds, and I'm going to try to see if we can find somebody else here as well to randomly sign. Skarik is absolutely worth signing. If we can get Jakob Skarik, that would be worth it. I'm going to send him a little bit more money to see if he'll sign. That'll get us 6 goaltenders. We'll be good to go in case of injury. Defensively, I mean, again, we could overspend for somebody, but I'm really not that worried about our defense. I got to be honest. I think we're going to look at our two-way options here. I was hoping there'd be some players who could be, improved. Still have some development room, but it's not looking like that's going to happen, clearly. So, cool, we'll just sign the best options available, or the guys that I want to sign. So, we are going to sign Philippe Myers, give you a 1-year deal. This is Colton White. Sure. Let's go ahead and sign Colton White. Just 1-year deals, though. Let's sign Zaboral. That's the Bruins fan in me. Needs to sign him. Let's bring on Jeremy Davies. And let's go for Kyle Capobianco on this occasion. Then for the forwards, again, I do have to sign some, but we'll figure that out as we go along. So, we'll see what happens. I think if Samsonov's asking price drops a little bit, we'll be in a much better spot. I do not want Shea Theodore, thank you very much, as I was able to sign us an AHL goalie coach, so our staff is pretty much taken care of. Also signed a scout. Again, don't want to trade, thank you very much. Capobianco signs. Edmonds rejects. He's going to sign with the Islanders. So that sucks. Everybody else signed. Losing Edmonds is no fun. Samsonov is still there. At this point, you gotta wonder, is it worth it to just run 3 great goalies at the NHL level? Carolina's interested. I mean, there's no rule that says that I can't sign Samsonov and then flip him. But, even carrying Korpisalo as the 3rd goalie at the NHL level, I mean, we got the money for it. I'm a little bit upset about missing out on our goaltender there. Do we need him, or do we trust the guys who just want... It is such a tough decision. There's good logic and justification on both sides. But I'm gonna stick with... Son of a bitch, I meant to go to contract. I'm gonna stick with who got us here. I think we're gonna avoid him. I'm a little bit worried about the cap, even if we could flip him. So, we'll see what happens from there. Ideally, we would sign another goalie here. Not sure whom. Actually, for the most part, we're fine. Defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know who that other defenseman. Probably Gilbert. I mean, give him a chance. See what he can do. Take it from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with McCammon. So ideally, one more defenseman, get a couple of forwards for the AHL, and we're good to go, and we'll be able to get a quick look at how this roster is set up this year. But I think I'm going to make that call. We're not going to go for Ilya Samsonov, and I might live to regret that. Let's go for Mitch Van de Sample. That's right, New York, we got Van de Sample. You take that goalie that I really wanted. We got to sign AJ Greer, friend of the channel, AJ Greer. Sign him up. Who else do we want? Vertanen. I feel like I haven't used Eriksson Ek all that much in any series. We'll sign him up for the year. That'll bring us up to 46 contracts. Anybody else? Who is this Smith? Is it Nate? It is Nate Smith. I don't want him, though. I just don't think I do. Ryan Carpenter. You know, just for the name value. Let's bring Ryan Carpenter back. The 47, I'm going to want one more forward here. And it's recently jumped to the KHL, Nikolai Goldobin. That catches my eye. Let's go for... Oh boy, I don't even know. It really doesn't matter. I'm just picking around. Let's go for Jake Virtanen for the Canucks fans. Why not? Keep Jake Virtanen around. So that'll bring us up to 48 deals. We should be good to go. Should be able to immediately sim. Obviously, I still need to sign our franchise level player as well. Big move there with Tyler Bertuzzi going to Calgary. And I would expect everybody to sign. Looks like that's the case. I am going to have to clear out the trade block. Just that we stop getting spammed with offers. And ultimately, we will check once we get to the preseason where Ilya Samsonov has signed. But could be a major turning point in this series to have not signed a 91 overall goalie when we technically have the cap space to do so. We're going to trust the tandem that really carried us to the Cup last year. And hopefully I don't live to regret it. But we have full control of the team, of course, for this entire year. And if it was up to me, we'll have full control heading into next off season as well. Although time will most certainly tell whether or not that's the case. I'm not banking on a repeat, but it would be tremendous, is all I can say. It would be fantastic. So let's go ahead and back out of that for the moment. Just hit done. And now we'll go over to contracts. We're definitely signing the number 1 overall pick. We have to. We have to. Yeah. Metropolitan's being signed. Merritt could be signed as well, actually. We actually have a couple of options. Neither goalie is AHL caliber. Nielsen is AHL caliber. He's 20 as well, so I should be able to send this guy down. I'm going to sign him. Forward-wise, we're obviously signing Metropolitan. And then what else do we have here? Merritts. Try to sign you a year early. See how you benefit from playing in the AHL. And then Strombopoulos. Strombo, medium 9. Screw it, he's 20. We might as well sign him, and he should be okay as well. So we'll see if I have to move anybody off of this team due to those signings. But for the most part, I think we're going to be good. And actually, before we look at our team, let's see where Ilya ultimately signed. We might as well. So player search. What do we got for Mr. Samsonov? I don't even have to type in his name. We can just look at goalies, where we see he did end up signing in Carolina 7 by 7.8. Am I going to regret that? Potentially. If I feel that bad about it, Luukkonen is an RFA and still an option because the AI is horrible at managing contracts. So let's see. Goalie-wise, we have our tandem. Peters and Wallstead are both good to go. Wooder Peters could be called up so that Wallstead and Skarek are good to go, but do I really care about Skarek developing? He's 24. I think Peters... I want that 1-2 punch of Peters. Wallstead's got to be the starter. So we're going to call up Wooder Peters when we can. Defense, Jones, Boqvist, Dillon, Pulock, Fitzgerald, Capobianco will be dropped because I want to give Gilbert the chance. We definitely have too many defensemen now. All right, so I think we're going to be good. Capobianco can be the healthy scratch. And then forward-wise, we have our 10, 11, 12. So we want to send down the whole lot here. Pretty straightforward. So goalie-wise, let's call up Peters. Defense, let's call up Mr. Gilbert. And then for the forwards, again, like Nordgren, Carpenter, all these guys in the system. It's going to be a really good AHL team. Only guy I'm worried about, though, of course, is Metropolitan. So I don't think Kayumov is going to make it. He's going to be the odd man out now because we're going to prioritize Metropolitan over him. So Kayumov is way too good for the AHL. Like, way too good offensively for the AHL. But we're going to leave him there. And he's going to tear that league apart. Alongside Zion Nebek, who's going to benefit very, very handsomely from playing next to someone like that. I think in terms of who I want as a healthy scratch, could be Jake Virtanen. He's not as good defensively as I'd want, though. You know, wanting someone who could plug into any line. Eriksson Ek actually fits the bill quite well. Greer's not bad. You know what, AJ? Congrats. You're going to be the healthy scratch for the team. Let's see what we're dealing with here in terms of the team setup. So the fourth line, well established. Taves will be on the third line, probably with Metropolitan, and I'd have to say Nylander. So that third line is still looking good. We have to change the fact that we have two two-ways and a sniper, most likely. I mean, Metropolitan right now can be anything. Two-way, playmaker, power forward, whatever we need him to be. Same with Jonathan Taves. Like, he doesn't have to be a two-way. But, I mean, that third line, you know, we could have a little bit more skill involved, or it could just be straight two-ways. And then as far as these other lines are concerned, I mean, we have 6 first-line forwards, which is absurd. The best centers in terms of face-offs are Doc and Strome. So you could argue, I think what we'd want is Eakin, Doc, DeBrincat, Kane, Strome, Point. Although Eakin's a much better fit on the second line. He's a much better fit there. And then Doc and Strome. If we were to go for chemistry purposes, this would be the best way to do it. I think this might be what we roll with. Kane, Strome, DeBrincat, Eakin, Doc, Point as a second line. Metropolitan, Taves, Nylander, and then, of course, my preferred fourth line. The defense, does that third pairing really matter? Not really. I think I want to give Gilbert the chance again, though. Obviously, we'll have some assets, you know, to make moves if we need to. But I think reuniting Dylan and Pulock is a good way to go, and then Jones and Boqvist. This team is going to be stupidly good. Stupidly good. No doubt about it. And in the AHL, speaking of stupidly good, they are also going to be extremely competitive with Jesper Wallstedt as the starter. For the defense, I just want to make sure that someone isn't scratched who shouldn't be, and we look good to go. Apparently, I actually should have had one less person scratched, but I guess, yeah, some of those defensemen, those 20-year-olds, are still going to be counting in, you know, junior, so I think I wasted a year of an ELC or two, but that's really not the biggest deal in the world. Let's just see here. Merritt needs to be in the lineup, no doubt. So we're going to immediately put him on the top line. And then Fortin, let's see. Do I want to try to develop? You know what? I do kind of want to try to develop the guys that are here. And then T-Plies here. So you know what? Let's sacrifice perhaps a little bit of the potential success early on by giving some of these younger guys an opportunity with the team. And then down the stretch, I mean, if we want to just throw out a ridiculous AHL lineup, we can totally do that. So having Kayumov and Niebeck on that top unit, could be with Merritt, could be with Eriksson. I'll probably optimize that a little bit, but the point remains, both of these teams are just stupidly good. Stupidly good. Even though we didn't sign Samsonov. We don't have the highest rated goalie in the world. I don't think we need him. We have cap space. Plenty of cap space. We still have draft picks to work with. We have some players like Krejci, who is just dead value right now because he's never going to develop. We are set up so incredibly well. So incredibly well. Hell, Trafford could be given the opportunity at the NHL level if we really wanted to. So I'm feeling really good about this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep this episode a little bit shorter than originally planned, but this does give you an opportunity to be like, hey, maybe try this, suggestions basically heading in to this season. Next episode, we're going to go for it. We're going to see what happens as the year plays out, and hopefully it goes as expected. And I mean, no doubt we should be expected to be a top team in the league and perhaps just be on our way towards defending our title, a 100 rated offense. And we're going to see that team put to use starting in the next episode. So again, let me know if you have any suggestions as far as what happened. And again, as far as what the team could be. And again, as far as not signing Ilya Samsonov, I mean, time to put my loyalty to the test, right? We'll see how it plays out for us. So again, I thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the shorter episode. We will be back later on, though. Greatly appreciated. Thank you as always. Of course, check out everything in the description if you haven't already done so. Shout out to my patrons on Patreon. I love you all. And I will see all of you in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Have a good one. Take it easy. Later.